ceremony at facebook.com/OCSMass. And again, we'll meet in 5 minutes. Thank you. No. Good afternoon, enlistees, parents, guardians, and special guests, welcome to Our Community Salutes Massachusetts. Our Community Salutes is a national nonprofit organization helping communities recognize, honor, and provide support to high school seniors who plan to enlist in the U.S. Armed Services after high school graduation. This is the fourth Our Community Salutes event in Massachusetts, and a tradition that we certainly hope to continue. Thank you for participating in this annual event. Please rise for the presentation of colors by the East Boston High School Army JROTC Color Guard, and stay standing for the National Anthem played by members of the 78th and 198th Army Bands and the invocation. To our active duty service members and those in uniform, reminder, this is an indoor event, so you do not need to see. Thank you. At this time, we invite Lieutenant Ben Shear, Chaplain for the 1st Marine Corps District, to lead our invocation.
Let us pray. Our Father in God, giver of every good and perfect gift, we come to you this afternoon with gratitude for the many blessings in our lives. Your gracious hand of providence supplies us with every need, and you never turn away those who seek your face. And for that, we are thankful. This afternoon, we gather to honor the student enlistees who stand ready to join the storied ranks of our nation's military. We honor these young men and women for their willingness to serve, to give, and to be part of something bigger than themselves. And we thank you for raising up the next generation of Americans who are standing up to protect our freedom. As we celebrate and honor these students, I ask for your divine presence to be among us. Impress upon us all the duty we have to serve others, to love our neighbors as ourselves, and to live as men and women of dignity and honor as we serve our great nation. In your almighty name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Please, everyone, be seated. We hope you enjoyed the community fair and identified several key organizations that will help you as military service members, and in some cases, after your military service has ended. Our goal is to make this transition into service of our nation easier, with the comfort of knowing that help is available to you and to your families and parents should you need it. My name is Andy McCarty, and in addition to being one of the co-chairs for this event, I'm also a proud veteran of the United States Air Force. It was 22 years ago, it's hard for me to believe that I was in your position preparing to enlist in the active duty military. Like many of you, I saw it as an opportunity to help pay for college. Like many of you, I was excited by the prospect of travel and adventure, and it didn't disappoint. A year later, I was in Egypt staring up at the Great Sphinx and climbing around in the underbelly of a pyramid in Cairo. I served alongside fellow airmen who came to the U.S. from countries like Guatemala, Mexico, El Salvador, Kenya, and foreign allies from Germany, France, England, Australia, New Zealand, and Italy. I made friends with civilians from Jordan, Qatar, the Philippines, and beyond. It was a wild ride, and it all began with raising my right hand and making what remains one of the most important and consequential decisions of my life, a decision that continues to pay dividends to this day. I separated from the military after 4 years, and nowadays I serve in a different way, as director of Northeastern University's Dolce Center for the Advancement of Veterans and Service Members. And I want to encourage each of you to pursue further education during and after your service. Take advantage of your hard-earned education benefits and use them wisely. Use them to advance personal and professional goals that are important to you, that can truly change your life. We have a simple yet powerful program for you this afternoon. We'll hear from several leaders with first-hand knowledge of selfless service, and then ask our enlistees to stand for a ceremonial oath of enlistment, followed by individual recognition. We'll then close with a few final comments. All our speakers are immensely proud of your service as enlistees to serve in providing for the safety and security of our nation. We're also grateful to your parents and guardians for raising an individual willing to place their life on the line for all of us. In the electronic program, you'll find letters from Massachusetts elected officials stating the same sentiments. Together, we're all happy to be the first to say thank you for your service. In addition to our speakers, who we'll introduce later in the program, we want to recognize some special people and groups at our event today. Their presence and support made this entire afternoon possible. And as I introduce you, I ask you to please stand. Mrs. Nicole Gilmore, civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army of Massachusetts. Army Reserve Ambassador Ed Peschel. Army Reserve Ambassador Lou Vasquez. Massachusetts Secretary of Veteran Services Cheryl Powell. Colonel Frederick Dent, Commander, 1st Recruiting Brigade, U.S. Army. Lieutenant Colonel Tim Murphy, Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Battalion Commander. Commander B.J. Farrell, USS Constitution. And the Boston Commissioner of Veteran Services, Rob Santiago. Without funding, we'd still be planning. We want to extend a special thank you to our sponsors, Amazon, White & Marine, Cell Phones for Soldiers, Herb Chambers, Northeastern University's Dolce Center for the Advancement of Veterans and Service Members, Win Waste Innovations, Brian and Grace Kincannon, Eversource Veterans Association, Jewish Family Service of Metro West, Radius Financial Group, Solidus Technical Solutions, and U.S. Family Health Plan. At this time, I'd like to ask all veterans with us today to please stand and be recognized. U.S. Census estimates, you represent less than 8% of the U.S. population. Thank you for your service. Would the parents and guardians of our enlistees please stand? Thank you. Yeah, you can stay standing for a moment, if you would. Thank you for raising a patriot. Please note the successful and distinguished crowd that just sat down. Your son or daughter will soon become part of that group, with the character and commitment to tackle life's tough challenges. Someone willing to stand up for others. Someone who understands what it means to be a member of a team, and that the team can accomplish much more than the individual. And right now I'd ask, with the mothers in the audience, please remain standing while everyone else takes their seats. We want to take this moment to say a special thank you and wish you all a very happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Please be seated. We'll soon see the enlistees be recognized and walk across the stage, so I won't ask them to stand. At this time, I'd like to introduce the CEO and founder of our community salutes, Dr. Kenneth Hartman. Dr. Hartman is an educational entrepreneur, having served nearly 4 decades as a university president, professor, senior academic administrator, and consultant in the higher education sector. More recently, Dr. Hartman served as president of Drexel University Online, a subsidiary of Drexel University, where he was responsible for the overall operational and fiscal performance of a multi-million-dollar organization, serving nearly 8,000 online adult learners in over 100 fully online degree programs. Dr. Hartman is the author of numerous books and scholarly publications. Additionally, he served as a commissioned officer in the United States Army, authored a nationally syndicated newspaper column, and could be seen for nearly a decade as a technology reporter for NBC News in Philadelphia. In 2009, Dr. Hartman founded Our Community Salutes, a nonprofit organization to recognize and honor graduating high school seniors who plan to enlist in the military immediately after high school graduation. Today, OCS ceremonies are being conducted in over 20 states and over 40 locations throughout the country. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kenneth Hartman.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that very much. Wow, this is amazing. Again, I appreciate to have a couple minutes to talk to you and congratulate you, the seniors, the moms, and dads, for what you're accomplishing. Just a little bit of the background about how this whole thing started, because I think it's a little bit interesting. So, as Eddie mentioned, back in 2009, he failed to mention the fact that that same year, in a moment of weakness, I agreed to serve on our local school board just outside Philadelphia in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And shortly after joining that board is when I discovered that we were doing nothing to recognize the young men and women who were graduating from our high schools and who were enlisting directly in the military. As was said before, I'm an old armored cab guy, but I was an officer. I went to ROTC a million years ago. Like you guys, these are the kids in my community, their moms and dads. Many of them have never even met another parent whose kids go in the military. And many of them, unfortunately, were kind of going underground, because this time of year you hear a lot of parents asking each other, as many of you sure heard, so where's Mary going to school next year? Typically your response, well, she's not going to school next year. Maybe she's not going to school next year. What's she doing? Well, she's going into the Army. What? The Army? Are you okay with that? Or what happened? After hearing that, I noticed people in my community, moms and dads, many of them went underground. So I decided I needed to do something about that. In 2009, I held our first OCS ceremony. I didn't know who was going to come. I didn't know where I was going to have it. I didn't know if anybody was going to. I was going to pay for it. But we did. And we honored all the kids in our county, in Camden County, New Jersey. It's a magical event. About 4 months later, a woman from Pittsburgh called me and said, hey, I heard that you're in South Jersey. Can you help me do that in Pittsburgh? I said, well, sure. I can help set up. We'll call you our community to Pittsburgh. And so year 2, we had 2 locations, 2010. And then the word really got out. We went from 2 locations to 10 locations to 30 locations to 40 locations to 50 locations all over the country. So as was indicated this spring, and primarily this month, we'll have over 40 ceremonies across the country, including Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, actually 2 of the U.S. Islands, So over the past 14 years, we've been honored to recognize literally tens of thousands of high school seniors who are making that decision to put their country before themselves. So again, if we could all recognize the kids, just for a round of applause for making that decision. Now, very quickly, for moms and dads, you may not know this, but less than 30% of all high school seniors can even qualify to serve in the military. I gotta tell you, as an old recovering university president, I can tell you that 75% of American colleges accept nearly 100% of their applicants. So that means that your son or daughter who is enlisting in the military now is going to a more selective institution than 75% of the colleges that are out there. It's amazing. Why only 30%? Well, the kids can't qualify, they're not physically fit, they can't pass the drug test, or whatever it is, they're not eligible to go. It's very, very selective. More selective than said in 75 colleges. The other thing, moms and dads, you should know is that 75% of the kids who are sitting here today will only serve for 4 years. And the one thing that you guys have in common with the general back here is that you're all getting out someday. And so the point is that now is the time for you to begin, mom and dad, to begin planning that with them, talking to them about it. I know you're going to off and learn a new job and you can't wait to buy your first Harley or whatever that is, and be excited about that. Been there. But now's the time to start thinking about it, talking to the people who are out there before and say, hey, after I pass my basic training or my advanced training, most of you are going to earn anywhere between 10 to upwards of 60 college credits just for doing your job. But you need to know how to harness it. You need to talk to the colleges about this. So you're going to be developing that so that when you get out, you should not be one of 50% of the kids who end up in a mom's or dad's basement. The moms and dads, as a parent, you don't want your kids in your basement either. So you got to start planning. That 4 years goes very, very quickly. I also want to thank my fellow veterans who are in here, and because we stand on your shoulders. My first company commander, Vietnam veteran. Do we have any Vietnam veterans out there? Can you stand, please? Vietnam veterans? Thank you. Do we have any Korean War veterans out there? Grandpas, any grandmas out there? Nope. And I'm going to say it again because sometimes I get lucky. Any World War II veterans out there? Grandparents out there? Anybody in the audience? My ceremony on Tuesday evening in South Jersey, with my 14th, will have Mill Brill. Mill Brill is a Jewish war veteran. She was a nurse in World War II. She's 97 years young, and I can't wait to see that. So the final thing I want to do is I would like to, again, thank the committee that made this possible. In particular, I'd like to thank Bob. Where's Bob? Bob, you out there? Can you come up here a second? Bob, where are you? Bob, where are you? Can you come up here a second? There he is. Again, look around here. This is going to be one of the largest OCS ceremonies in the country. And it didn't happen by chance. It's this man who works with me a lot that makes this whole possible. Come on up here. I have something for you. So, because of this man's dedication and many others on his committee, this happens today. And one of the highest medals that we can give is the Founders Medal medallion that we'd like to present to Bob for all his work this year. All right, that's all I have to say. Again, thank you very much. Congratulations, mom, dads, kids. Do us proud out there. And for the moms and dads who are here today, please work with that man next year to be volunteers so that we can plan even a bigger ceremony next year in Boston. Thank you very much.
At this time, I would ask you to please direct your attention to the screens for a special message from the Secretary of Defense.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense. It's great to be able to join you in honoring our next generation of outstanding servicemen. most of all, I want to congratulate our graduates. You know, I'm so proud that you've chosen to serve your country in such an important way. I believe that service is a gift. By joining the military, you'll give so much of yourselves to the nation that we all love. I can tell you firsthand that you'll get so much back in return. Every day, you'll work with the very best of America, with deeply committed patriots who work together to embody the values of democracy that you'll swear to defend. It's going to be challenging work, but I think that you're going to love it. Now, I also would like to thank your families and your loved ones today. Throughout your time in uniform, they're going to serve right alongside you, and their love and support will absolutely make your service possible. The graduates, thanks again for stepping up. I know that you'll help keep us safe and make us proud. And so on behalf of the entire Department of Defense, welcome to the team. We're awfully glad to have you. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Governor Charlie Baker was sworn in for a second term as the 72nd Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts on January 3rd, 2019. After a first term focused on moving Massachusetts forward through bipartisan, results-driven leadership, Governor Baker serves as the State Commander-in-Chief of the Massachusetts National Guard, which celebrates its 386th birthday this December, making it the oldest military force in the Department of Defense. More than that, Governor Baker is a strong supporter of all the men and women protecting our nation, as well as those veterans who have already served. If you've seen him speak before, there's no doubt of his strong affinity and support of military families. It's my pleasure to introduce America's most popular governor, Governor Charlie Baker.
So thanks very much, and I just want to offer my gratitude to all the moms and dads, and special gratitude to the moms, because after all, tomorrow is your day. And I'd love to stand here and say to the moms that, hey, every day is Mother's Day, but the mothers know better than that. What I will say is you have all done exactly what, in many respects, my parents tried to do with me and my brothers when we were growing up. And that is to raise children who would think that purpose matters. I remember being asked one time when I was about the same age as all of you what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I didn't say I wanted to be a baseball player, or a great scientist, or a writer, or a business leader. I said I wanted to be relevant. I didn't really know what that meant, but I just knew that in the end, here, what I cared about most is I wanted my life to matter. I wanted to be somebody who, over the course of my time here on earth, did something that made a difference. That I had a chance to be part of some teams that would have that purpose and the strength that comes from that. And the belief when I was old and gray, I would look back on my time and I would say, I mattered. Let me tell you something. In some respects, there's no bigger step that you can take as a young person than to join the service. If you want to be relevant, if you want to matter, if you want to play on a great team, if you want to do something that has purpose. The great civil rights leader Martin Luther King used to talk about how anybody can be great because everybody can serve. But when it comes to military service, not everybody does. You're about to become part of one of the most extraordinary organizations on this planet. One that time and time again answers the call on behalf of your fellow citizens. Now, my first-hand experience as governor has been with the National Guard. And for the past couple of years during the pandemic, there is no organization that has done more often, in more ways, on more days, on more calls than the Massachusetts National Guard. I talk all the time about the fact that whenever I call, and I've called a lot during the pandemic, they come. And they always exceed everyone's expectations. And that's the beautiful part about being trained to be part of our military. And I run into people all the time that I work with, that I get to know and are part of my life in my current job in public service. And every once in a while I come across somebody who's really special. They just seem to get it. Whatever the problem is, they just get it. Whatever the work group is, they just get it. Whatever the assignment is, they just get it. And I'll look at somebody who knows where they came from and what they're doing, and I'll say, man, they were really squared away. Which is my way of saying, they're special. And more often than not, the answer I get is, well, yeah, they served in the military. This is a really special day for you and for your families. But I also want you to know that it's a really special day for me as the governor of Massachusetts and as somebody who spent almost 20 years of my professional career in public service. Because I know how important the work you're going to do is going to be to this country. And I know what kind of people you'll be if it's 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, or 40 years you spend serving in the military. It is truly one of the great training grounds in this country. And I wish you all nothing but the very best. Time in military service, whatever comes after that. And as your governor today, what I really want to say is how grateful I am that you chose to step up, find purpose, to be part of a great team, and to be elevated. Good luck to you all. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Baker. Next, Chief Master Sergeant Roslyn Rappler is the Command Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Reserve Command's 439th Airlift Wing, Westover Air Reserve Base, near Massachusetts. The wing reports to 4th Air Force March Air Reserve Base, California, and supports Air Mobility Command's worldwide airlift mission with the C-5M Galaxy aircraft. In this capacity, she advises the wing commander on all matters relevant to factors influencing mission readiness, training, professional development, morale, welfare, personnel utilization, and leadership of the enlisted force within the wing, which is comprised of 2,500 traditional reservists, air reserve technicians, active guard, reserve, and civilian personnel. Please join me in welcoming Chief Master Sergeant Pratt.
Good afternoon. Chairman Baker, Chairman Dr. Hartman, distinguished guests, fellow service members, guardians, educators, parents, and enlistees. Thank you for the opportunity to come to speak to you today. Also would like to thank people that are out there in Facebook and watching this live via Facebook. Also want to thank our community salutes for putting together this fourth annual community salutes event together. Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. We are here today to recognize and honor our newest enlistees in the military. Your decision to serve may have started with a question, a conversation, or from knowing someone else that served in the military. That's exactly how my decision to serve started 30 years ago. Like you, I was a high school student, high school senior, and I started thinking ways and talking to my parents about what I needed to do next and talking about the military. And oh, by the way, both of my parents are retired from the United States Air Force. And my brother decided, hey, I'm not going to do the Air Force thing. I'm going to go Navy. So he's in the Navy. The decision to answer the nation's call and embark on this incredible journey is only made by less than 1% of the United States population. Let that soak in for just 1 second. Less than 1%. That's what you're doing. You've made a decision to be a part of something greater for yourselves, to be a part of a big team. As you start your journey, I'd like for you to know that it's not only an important decision that you've made, but it's a brave decision. You're committing to representing our country with pride and dedication. There will be times when the road is hard, but know that you will overcome hard encounters through perseverance. Your experiences, some amazing places, some amazing people. You'll meet many other military members, and some will become your family. You will say hello and goodbye a lot because you're in the military. But know you'll have a joyful hello for every sad goodbye. Remember to always serve with integrity. Each day you put on your uniform, you are a proud example of our military. Always focus on being your best. You must always have the highest integrity. You must always choose to do the right thing, even when no one is looking. Your integrity defines who you are. Work hard, play hard, and always reach for what you want to accomplish. Always have a goal in mind. Once you accomplish that first goal, think of the next goal. Continue to educate yourself. Be a part of your community and expect the best of yourself on everything that you do. Expect the best. Know that there are going to be some hard days, like I mentioned before. Just do your best, and every day is not going to be 100% there. If 60% is your best that day, then give 60%. Knowing that that's your best. Just always try to do your best. Know that your family is always with you and supporting you, but know you'll have your family at home, but you'll also have your military family. It's a community that will follow you wherever you go. You'll always have a family. You'll always have a friend that you can reach out to in the military. It is my prayer that as you embark on this journey, and at the end of your long and wonderful career, that you remember this moment in time when people celebrate you and to congratulate you and to let you know how proud we are You're in the military, you're in the future, you're the service of our country, and we thank you for your service. Also want to thank the parents. It's a lot of emotions, a lot of things that are running through your mind right now. But one of the things that I know that serves at the top is pride. Pride in your senior high school, your high school senior, knowing that they have made a decision or that they're making a decision to join the military. Continue to carry that pride because it takes all of us to make sure that we reach the finish line of our goals and our dreams. It takes our parents, it takes the community, it takes our military family to ensure that we get there. So on behalf of myself, the commander at Westover, and all the airmen at Westover, we are proud, we are thankful, and we look forward to serving beside you. Thank you.
Thank you. General James C. McConville assumed duties as the 40th Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army on August 9, 2019, after most recently serving as the Vice Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army. He's a native of Quincy, Massachusetts, and graduated in the United States Military Academy of West Point, New York. He holds a Master's of Science in Aerospace Engineering from the Georgia Institute of Technology and was a National Security Fellow at Harvard University in 2002. Following his remarks, General McConville will administer a ceremonial oath of enlistment for active duty in reserve enlistees. We ask that National Guard enlistees remain seated at that time, as you will have a separate oath. They'll take a ceremonial state oath in a moment. It's my distinct honor to introduce General James McConville.
Well, thank you, and it's a great honor for me to be here today. As said, I was born and raised in Quincy, Massachusetts, and I am a Red Sox fan, a Patriots fan, a Celtics fan, and a Bruins fan by birth and choice. And it's something special, and I do want to thank the great governor of Massachusetts for his support for our troops and his support for our veterans, and he's out here at this very, very important event. And, you know, when I take a look around, I see all these extraordinary young men and women, and I do want to thank their parents for instilling in them, you know, a desire to serve their country. And that is really important, very, very important. You know, I remember when I left Quincy in 1977, probably a little while before you were born, to go off and join the Army. And I thought at that time, I'd get a little education, I'd spend a couple of years, and I'd come on and do something else, but I kind of hung around for a while. But the reason I've stayed in the military is because every single day I get to serve in the company of heroes. I get to see extraordinary young men and women every single day do incredible things. And we live in a very dangerous time. I was just over in Eastern Europe, and I saw young men and women standing on the vanguard of freedom. Young men and women just like you, just like you. And when I went to places like Lithuania and Latvia and Estonia, I saw in those people the difference of having American troops on their ground, knowing that we were there with them, and we would maintain their freedom. Freedom is not free. And as the governor said, you know, I've seen our National Guard, our reserves, in active military over the last 2 or 3 years, at home, help in natural disasters. I've seen them solve incredible problems. I've seen them go into hospitals, nursing homes, when hope was forlorn, and they came there and gave hope as we came after this incredible threat that we see in the homeland. That is going to be you. And so as you go on your military journey, it will not be easy. It will not be, you know, at times very challenging. But over the last day, I had a chance to spend time with my 92-year-old father, who was a second-class petty officer in the United States Navy during the Korean War. And at this time in his life, what he talks about is his military service, way more than his 49 and a half years working at the Boston Givers. And so when you get older, people are going to ask you what you do with your life. You're going to proudly declare that you served. When your country needed you, that you served. And no matter what you do, and you will do great things in life, no one will ever be able to take that away from you. Whether you do 2 years, 4 years, 41 years, who knows? But you're going to have an opportunity to serve your country. And just remember one thing. Remember this. No one ever walks up to a hedge fund manager in the airport and thanks them for their service. So thank you for your service, and let's go ahead and give it to you guys. Okay? So I'm going to ask all the troops, all going active duty and reserves to stand up at this time. And I would ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I'll support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that I'll bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I'll obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to regulations in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. All right, good luck and Godspeed on your journey of service. We are all extremely proud to serve you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, gentlemen. At this time, we'll ask each group of enlistees to come across the stage by service, receive congratulations, and their special gifts. Our community salutes is presenting each enlistee with a distinctive challenge coin, which we made available at the military entrance processing station in Boston with their recruiters. Traditionally, the coin might be given to prove unit membership or when challenged to enhance morale. Challenge coins may be presented by unit commanders in recognition of special achievement by a member of the unit. And this will likely be the first of many coins received during their service. Enlistees will also be receiving a pocket guide from the United States Constitution with fascinating facts about it. The pocket guide contains the entire text of the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and Declaration of Independence, along with interesting insights into those who wrote the Constitution. Just a moment ago, these enlistees took an oath to support and defend the principles of government established by this document. So at this time, I would ask the U.S. Army rep to come up and read the names of the United States Army and Army Reserve enlistees.
Good afternoon. And young Army leaders, I understand that some of you may not be in the correct order, but please step up and get in that order as well. Ava Alex, Tyrese Faros, Jonathan Vetro, Jackson Brannon, Drew Campiano, Patrick Campos, William Capuano, John Carr, Deuce Winmai Chazar, Patrick Consoli, John Coyle, Joshua Colbreth, Ben DeVita, Samuel Diaz, Jason Duarte, Ben Foster, Adam Gosselin, Cody Hilton, Joshua Igiani, Jesse Collar, Alexander Kellogg, Ryan Lovell, Charles Long, Janessa Martins, Josiah Monroe, Logan Morris, Noah Morse, Samuel Danak Murphy, Sheba Nakaya, Niles Wynn, Brady Pearl, Isaac Perez, Alex Pimentel, Joshua Platts, Brian Quinn, Brian Renderos, Kyle Richard, Mason Richardson, Daniel Rodriguez, Jeremiah Santiago, Jose Santiago, Duncan Schwab, Judah Smith, Jason Vargas, Seth Wolf, last but not least, Ian Quills Wong.
United States Marine Corps, Marine Corps Reserve.
Timothy Atlanta, Melissa Arturo Escobar, Sebastian Alzade Amaya, Jalen Auguste, Olivia Banks, Declan Barron, Anthony Barros, Caleb Bell, Connor Boyle, Seth Burke, Joseph Lorenzo, Logan Campbell, Marcus and Charles, Winnicott Jones, David Sledo, Ben Cohen, Patrick Colleran, Brendan Collins, John Como, Jordan Costa, James Curry, Tatiana Darche, Matthew Davey, Louis Dela Cruz, Thomas Dealey, Bianca Diaz, William Doherty III, Paul Dundon, Lana Emily, Tavis Evans, Diego Fernandez, Celia Cuomo, Mitchell Friedman, Nicholas Fritz, Nicholas Gaddy, Lindale Gervais, Andrew Goglin, Brett Graham, Andre Guerra, James Gilbert, Makesh Guram, Joseph Harrison, Razan Henderson, Jared Hermanson, Brandon Hernandez Rivera, Richard Hogan, Declan Holland, Jorge Huertas, Joseph Hutchinson, Daniel Iota, Camila Jaramillo, Nilly Jean Baptiste, Oliver Jones, Sean Kelly, Mason Kilda, Norman Kayaga, Lorenzo Kong, Andrew Brian Timothy Kwame, Lucas Lacerda, Niari Lane Benjamin, Mateus Linos, Lauren Lynch, Rio McGuire, Eddie Martinez, Talon Masoda, John McDonough, Caden McGill, Michael McGuire, David McNulty, Yubita Mayono, Villalobos Michael, Victor Minguez, Jonathan Mora, Nicholas Morales Munad, Richard Moretti, Aiden Moretz, Tim Morin, Elijah Murphy, Leonardo Navarro, Alexander Nguyen, Ryan Nicholas, Griffin Noble, Daniel O'Brien, Matthew Olivar, Max Pacheco, Christopher Patton, Ted Percy, Kathy Peterson, Aiden Fain, Cole Picarelli, D. Pierre, Jal Perez, William Blue, Nathaniel Halver, Alexander Ratsami Winston, Hogan Richard, Mario Rivera, Andrew Roman, Colin Rooney, Jeffrey Rivero, Roman Santangelo, Andrew Sandville, Brian Silvera, Jonathan Smith, Jesse Spiney, John Paul Stein, Jordan Sweeney, Bob Taylor, Joseph Tingham, Martin Tripp, Christopher Velez, Takaro Vieira, Joseph Wanana, Josiah Winchell, Jesse Urardi, and Adai Zaid Muhammad.
United States Navy and Navy Reserve.
Go Navy. Omar Alaya. Fabrizio Bernardi. Adam Gurrier. Renee Cordero. Dennis Jared, Vincent, Colin, She, Goodwood, Nicholas, Smith, Alex Kilfoy, Kyle Boldier, Selena Goodyear, Connor Kilty, Kai Chen Land, Kai Larson, Jesse Lutz, Julissa Hermes, Nicholas Miranda, Vanessa Gutierrez, Jason Plager, Sophia Rivero, Jennifer Sabrina Vasquez, Makia Shakes, Manan Shin, Ellen Seeger, Garrett Saucy, Dylan Sawyer, Brendan Walker.
United States Air Force.
Kevin Barbeza, Michaela Avalon, Scott Farley, Shane Booth, Paul Johnson, Ava Klein, Ashley McGlure, Emily Moran, and Greg Williams. Air Force.
Those enlistees can please take your seats. The National Guard consists of the Army National Guard and the Air National Guard, and it's organized and controlled by the state. However, in circumstances allowed by law, the National Guard can become federalized employed. As the state commander-in-chief, Governor Baker will now administer the oath of enlistment to Army National Guard enlistees. Will the Army National Guard enlistees please stand?
You all raise your right hands and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, the state of Massachusetts, against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States, and the Governor of Massachusetts, and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to law and regulation. So help me God. Congratulations and God bless. Thank you.
Recognize the U.S. Army National Guard.
Danny Ayu, Caleb Belton, Ewan Basil, Joseph Benitez, Philip Moores III, Gail Burns, Ian Richard Fly, Kevin Cruz, Edgar DeMello Figo, Gianna Federico, Zachary Fetterman, Isaac Ferrier, Colby Furtado, Brittany Gomes, Jason Gomes, Adam Harrison, Victor Horton, Joel Johnson, Timothy Capson, Juan Martinez, Lily Maston, Charles Morrell, Nicholas Mullen, Alex Figuero, Trevor Peterson, Yao Myers, Dio Harris Borquin, Ryan Provencal, Nelson Robello, Kristen Reese, Noah Rodriguez, Andres Rodriguez, Angel Sunblom, Desiree Tasso, Aiden Valcourt, and Asa Walsh.
Oh, one more hand of applause for So next we have a special award. The General Colin L. Powell Service Award is presented to one or more high school counselors from Massachusetts that best support young adults in making their individual educational and career choices in high school and upon graduation. From a recruiter's perspective, this is one person who fully supports all options for students and continues full support to those considering the military service option. This year's awardees are Tiffany Curry for Eastern Massachusetts and Michi Serrano for Western Massachusetts. Tiffany can't be here today, so we'll make a special presentation at her school, but I would like to make a presentation and read the award for Ms. Serrano. Ms. Serrano continues to set the example as an educator who tirelessly seeks the best outcomes for young people and for community. She cultivates strong professional relationships across every segment of the population, with a special emphasis on integrating recruiters from the West Springfield recruiting station. Her efforts engendered and continue to strengthen community-wide support for the Army's recruiting mission. The magnitude of this support is evident in the West Springfield recruiting station's ability to positively change the lives of 131 young men and women who have joined the Army from this area in less than 2 years. She is a true pillar of the community and a valued friend. So at this time, I would invite Michi Serrano to please come up and receive her award. Have multiple options for the next phase of their lives. We appreciate those schools who support all options for these young adults. We'd like to recognize Weymouth High School and Brockton High School for having the highest number of recruits of all services. So congratulations. Thank you all for joining us today. It's been our honor to recognize and thank all of you, enlistees, parents, and guardians. As many enlistees as we have here today, there are thousands more, both locally and around the country, who don't have an opportunity to attend an event like this. So we would invite you to visit ourcommunitysalutes.org to sign the virtual thank you card online. With your help, we'll reach our goal of getting 1 million Americans to sign the card before the 4th of July. As a final closing to our event, we call again Chaplain Shear to provide the benediction, followed by a closing song, God Bless America.
Let us pray. Gracious God and Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us a moment to pause and recognize the young patriots sitting before us now. Truly, no one serves alone, so we especially thank you for the families and friends represented here. All the families here are in a time of transition, and this can be hard. And so I ask that you would give parents peace and families comfort as their sons and daughters embark on the grand journey before them. May these families take great pride in the service of their sons and daughters, and may their love and support continue to grow in the years ahead. Finally, I ask a blessing for all the enlistees here. Keep them safe, make them effective, and give them success as they serve our great nation. In your most holy name I pray. Amen.
Thank you all very much. This concludes our ceremony. Good luck to everybody.